It's a beautiful Tuesday here in Alabama. We're just outside of Birmingham. I'm at home and I'm going to do my training session in the garage today. Got a little bit tied up on time, so didn't go train with my friends. Now it's me in my garage in beautiful weather out here. I live on 3 acres and we have a lot of trees. We've got a bunch of trees that I've chopped down. And I think for my warm up, I'm going to chop wood for like 20 minutes. I'm going to start with LMNT. This is my pre-workout always. So I'm going to drink this, chop some wood and get busy in the garage. Join me. I'd love to have you with me as I do a little training session here at home. Watermelon is my favorite. So good. Okay, done. Let's go chop some wood. Looking to boost your performance? Whether I'm training, in the sauna, or just living life, staying hydrated is key. But water alone isn't enough. That's why I use LMNT. 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium. No sugar, no junk, just what your body needs to perform, recover, and feel its best. It keeps me cramp-free, sharp, and ready for what's next. Want to try it? Grab a free sample pack with your first order at drinklmnt.com/Jason Grubb. That's drinklmnt.com/Jason Grubb. Hydrate smarter, perform better. Cut down this tree myself, and that was a fun day, kind of a scary day because it was the first tree I've ever cut down by myself. I was taught by an amazing tree cutter downer guy, Alvin Luntz, came out and showed me how to cut down my trees last year, and so this was the first one I cut down. Whole tree went that way, which I planned for it to do, so that was the win. I did not want it to go towards my cars over here or power lines that I have over here. So now I just have a bunch of logs on the ground here that I've got to process into wood that we can burn in our fire pit. So it's huge, heavy wood. It's super thick. And when I was chopping this one up, I made the logs really big. So my mistake, but I'm not going to get out the chainsaw and cut them again. I'm just going to have really big, chunks of firewood. Really big. That's all right. We got plenty of wood to burn. If you need wood, let me know. I've got lots. Oh, plenty sweaty from that. So let's get into it today. We're going to kick it off. I actually changed the programming for Boulder Athlete last minute. Based on the rumors, it's likely that we're doing some sort of rowing, deadlift, wall walk workout on Friday for the CrossFit Open 25.3. So we're going to practice something based on kind of what we've heard. So we're going to do 2 rounds of 25 cal row, 25 deadlifts, 25 cal row, 12 wall walks. The rumor is that we're doing 50, 50, 50, 25, maybe. There's now new rumors that we might have lighter weight for 1 round, and if you get done with that in under 10 minutes, you do a heavier weight. We're not sure. We're just going to practice this at 225. It doesn't really matter what the workout is. We're just getting this stimulus of the combination of row, deadlift, row, wall walk. I think we're resting 3 minutes between rounds. That'll be our kind of our warm up for the day. And then we get into some jerk work, shoulder to overhead. And then we've got another little bit of a workout at the end, 4 rounds per time with some push jerk, burpees, double unders. We do that twice. So we'll get to that. We're going to start with this for now. now that I've got it all up on the whiteboard, we're starting off with this piece, which I've already talked about, which is kind of practicing for something we think might be part of the CrossFit Open later this week. And it fits okay because on Tuesdays, we always do shoulder to overhead work. That's our primary stimulus for the day, shoulder to overhead and kind of core work. So doing a bunch of wall walks makes sense for the shoulder to overhead. We were going to do handstand push-ups and push jerks. Instead, we're doing wall walks. Deadlifts are quite core work. We normally do hinging and deadlift stuff on Wednesdays, but really want to test this out and I want to have a couple of days to recover before the Open. So it felt like we could kind of fit this in, especially with the wall walks instead of our shoulder endurance piece, which we always start out with. Then we move on to some CNS activation work for shoulder to overhead. We're going to do a bunch of jerk work. We start with dip holds and then behind the neck jerks. We do some push jerks in an EMOM. Then we're doing split jerks in a wave. So 3-2-1, 3-2-1, 3-2-1 at increasing weights. Once we have all that done, then we move into our metabolic conditioning for the day, which is 4 rounds. We've got push jerks, bar facing burpees, double unders 4 times through at a heavier push jerk weight. And then we rest 4 minutes, do 4 rounds, push jerks at a lighter weight, handstand walk, double unders. Go through that 4 times. That's a pretty standard Tuesday for us. We always start with shoulder endurance. Then we do shoulder to overhead Olympic work. And then we finish with a Metcon that has some shoulder to overhead work and often core work in that. That's where we got burpees. That's a lot of core work right there. Handstand walk, mixing that in as well because again, it's shoulder to overhead. We just have to be inverted. It's a lot of fun these Tuesdays. It's a beautiful day here. I've chopped wood and I'm ready to kick it off. Okay, that deadlift row, is actually really tough. So I had some ideas on what I would be doing for pacing on calories, and I don't think I can do it that fast. I think that those deadlifts become real spicy. I did 10, 10, 5, and the second set of 10 was really hard. It may be just an off day. I'm not performing, I'm training. So on game day, maybe a little bit more, but I think the deadlifts could be a trap. So probably smaller sets there. And at least on the first row, a little more conservative on the calories. Okay, if that's the workout, if it's 50, 50, 50, 25, that's really spicy. If it's an AMRAP, that'd be even more challenging. There's another rumor that the first round is a lighter deadlift and wall walks, and the second round is a heavier deadlift with wall facing handstand push-ups. That could also be really interesting, but shoulders are fiery right now. So that's a nice stimulus altogether. We'll see what comes. But for now, it's time to move on. What I like about behind the neck jerks is it forces me into a solid overhead position. Sometimes we can find ourselves doing jerks, split jerks, push jerks, and the bar travels out front and makes it much harder to catch. Behind the neck jerks kind of forces that bar to stay straight overhead, encourages us to stay super vertical, and it's a great primer, great warm up before we start going in the front rack position on our jerks. So that's why we do it. It's just an activation piece. Kind of wake up our CNS, let it know like, hey, we're about to do some jerk work, lots of work. What we got next is 8 minutes of push jerks. Just one push jerk every minute on the minute for 8 minutes. Really, really simple. What I'm looking to do is have precise movement. This is just practice. Like Olympic lifting is all about practice. It's kind of like going to a driving range if you're a golfer and you gotta hit all the different clubs. You can't just go out there and swing your driver. Like you gotta do some chipping and some putting on the putting greens and some medium. I don't know anything about golf. All I know is that practicing is part of this process as well. We gotta practice gymnastics. We gotta practice our lifts. So this is 8 minutes, just singles. It's not exciting, not sexy, but it's just something we gotta do. I'm gonna use my watch. There we go. Just started a minute. All right, that's done. Now we move on to split jerks. When I'm training alone, I really like listening to things like podcasts, audiobooks. So I just finished a book that was fantastic. It was called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Buy Back Your Time. Great book. Blasted through that in about 3 days. Just amazing book for business owners or really, anybody who makes a certain amount of money. Like you should figure out how to buy back your time, and really, really good. For podcasts, I love one called Acquired. So it is about, how business is formed. Like this is a 5-hour podcast on Rolex. 5 hours. I've got an hour and 13 minutes left. I listen at about 1.5 speed. Really good. I like to listen to My First Million. Love that podcast. The All In podcast is a good one as well. I listen to sometimes the Tim Ferriss podcast, Joe Rogan for sure, if he's got interesting guests. And every once in a while, Mac Break Weekly. I used to be an Apple fanboy. Now I'm not as loyal. I'm just kind of stuck with Apple right now. So whatever. But I do like to listen to podcasts. So today I am working through the Rolex podcast from Acquired. So good. They've done, Microsoft. So many. Ferrari, Porsche, they're all these luxury brands, like iconic brands. But really, it's really fun to understand the history of these iconic brands in a long form podcast. So I like that. And it's silly that I am rarely listening to music when I'm training at home. I'm just listening to books and podcasts. All right, so to make these more stable, I put 72-pound kettlebells on the base. That makes this much more stable for when I'm re-racking. Just all kinds of tips and tricks today. All right, I've got a 4-minute break and I need to figure out my handstand walk distance. I have to go to 50 feet. So I think these mats are 5 feet. Let me lay on the ground and see. Let's see. Oh no, they're 6 feet. Okay, these mats are 6 feet. So 12, 12, Okay, I'll just go approximately 12 feet, 12 feet, 12 feet. It's really tricky, but I'll make it work somehow. We'll figure it out. It was pretty tough, actually. The double unders were hard. My feet were super achy when I was doing push jerks, bar facing burpees, and double unders. That just always makes my feet a little bit achy. And then on the second round, the handstand walks were pretty tough in the garage, actually, just having to turn so many times. And the double unders were more shoulder intensive on the second round. So, okay, I'm cooked and I feel good. Since I've got you here, let's take you around the property. Here is the sauna, the ice barrel over here. We've got a Tesla that goes in the garage. The other Tesla stays under that carport sort of thing we had installed. We've got a fire pit down over here. I was chopping wood down there. This is our view from up on the mountain. This is a bit of an eyesore. We've got this electric pole, but otherwise it's absolutely beautiful. Front of our house and surrounded by forest all around. If we come up here, we take a look around our back, just surrounded by forest back here. It's a little back patio. You can see a neighbor way over there. Just crazy amounts of trees. And it's almost time for leaves to get back on the trees. And it's really pretty. It's dense. You can't see anything in there once all the foliage, once it's summer and it's green. You can't see our neighbors over there. But yeah, just up on the mountain, solo. Yeah, we could walk around naked if we wanted to, particularly in the summer. So, yeah. They say getting your full body exposed to the sun is a good thing, so maybe we'll try that out this summer. We'll see. All right, we're done. Time for protein. We get 2 scoops. This is heart and soil animal-based whey protein. It's unflavored, 90 calories per serving. And let's see, we get 19 grams of protein. There is no junk in here. So what we've got in here is whey protein concentrate, bovine trachea, scapula cartilage, and bovine colostrum powder. So all of that in here. And actually filter all of our water through a 0 water filter. You should filter all your water. Absolutely. The refrigerator filters are not good. They're not reliable. This is the best filter on the market. I'm gonna grab a little shaker thing here. So always drinking filtered water, always. All right, bottoms up. Workout's done. All right, that is a standard Tuesday. I started the day doing a capacity session. So it was zone 2 with some accessory work built into it. Shoulder pushing based accessory work, some GHD as well for the core. And sticking with that theme, we just finished our primary session for the day. It's 6 o'clock. It's a little bit later than I would normally work out, but that's okay. Try to be flexible. I'm glad to be doing it at home. Glad to have chopped more wood to get warm. That's actually kind of a perk. And my AirPods are annoying me. They fall out when I do double unders and they fall out when I do ring muscle ups. So I think there are some new AirPods or new Beats fitness AirPods that actually go around your ear. They're not AirPods. I just don't know what else to call them, but I think I'm gonna order those right now because I need stuff to stay in my ears and not distract me. That's it. All right, guys. If you have questions about the workouts, if you want to do exactly what I'm doing, I follow the Boulder Athlete Elite Track. I fully disclose everything I do. I don't do any more than that. I don't do any less than that. So yeah, if you have questions, leave a comment below. Feedback, anything like that. I love responding to comments. And as always, your best days are ahead of you. Fortune favors the bold. See you next time.